guys, it's Kate, and I hope you're having a wonderful day today. I'm here with the Kuretake Art Nouveau palette and a piece of my watercolor paper taped down. And I thought we might do some nice little blobs and doodles today with watercolor. And I'm going to be using colors from this palette, but also I grabbed some Aquafine Gold watercolor ink, and this is going to add some nice sparkle to our painting. So all of these colors really go nicely together, and I'm going to start kind of light and then we'll just go from there. I'm going to dip into some different colors. I've got them kind of pre-activated. I put a little bit of water in my pans, and I'm just going to start out by making some just simple little blob shapes. Now I might add multiple colors to one like this. You can also dip your brush in and make some other shapes that will kind of let it bleed in, and it's a nice light color. Maybe I'll go into this flax beige and drop some color in there and make sure to get it nice and wet so that it spreads out well. And just drop it right in there. I'm actually going to grab one of my little mixing cups here. That'll help me really do better with the paint. And I'm going to just dip into a few different colors here. I'm going to make a nice pink blob here. Get a little bit of water on my brush and just drop in some extra color. And maybe I'll add a little bit of purple in here too, right around the edge. And just let it go. Maybe a little bit of purple in these ones as well. And how about we go for this nice blue? This is grayish blue, and I'm just going to mix it right into my existing mixing cup. And it's going to be a slightly pinkish grayish blue. And I'm just going to let it touch right there. And just rinse my brush a little bit. Grab some water. Give it a blot and just pick up some of that excess. I'm going to grab a little bit more color from here and drop it right in. Just like that. And we're going to get some really interesting shapes here. All right, how about next I go to the alizarin crimson, and I'm just going to keep mixing it in this same cup, and that way the colors will be even more cohesive. Now I am going to come right in and let it touch again right here, and maybe I will even make this just a little bit bigger. Just like that. Now if you have too much water, you can always blot your brush and just come in and get the excess. And if you want to put paint back in, just blot your brush well and you can drop it right in around the edge. And I'm just kind of doing it slowly as I go and adding just some little hints of color here and there. And everything will go together nicely. I'm going to go back to this ecru beige and mix it in my little mixing wheel, and I'm going to add another circle coming out from the side right here. And again, I'm going to let it touch my other ones. just like that. And I'm going to find another color to mix in here. Maybe I'll go for this green gold. I think that's a pretty color. So I'm just going to put some in right around the edge here, and I'm just dabbing my brush. And we'll get some of that wet and wet blending. And maybe just a little bit in these also. Now I'm going to go into this shadow green and make a nice dark one, and maybe I'll put one right over here that's just by itself. Just like that. And then get up some of this excess color and pick a color to kind of dab in there. I'm going to go to this coral pink. Just like that. And then how about another green one right down here? I'm going to dip my brush in some water. And maybe grab some more of this coral pink and dip it right in the shape. Okay, now cobalt turquoise light. Maybe I'll add a little bit of this pale pink in there too to kind of neutralize it a bit. And I'm going to do a circle right here. Maybe a little bit larger. Just like that. And I'm going to grab some of this Potter's pink and drop that right in there. Might drop a little bit of this Potter's pink in here too. I really like that color. Yeah. And I'm going to keep that on my brush. Add just a little bit of water. And add another pale one down here. I'm also going to go back into that ecru beige and make a small circle here and a small circle here. I'm going to let this touch, although this circle is a little bit dry, so it might not do much in the way of bleeding in. And then I'm going to go back into this color and get some blue-green up on this side of the paper. Now this top circle is pretty dry, so it's not going to bleed really at all. And then I'm going to add just a couple of little ones here. Okay, so now we've got all of our shapes on here. We're starting to dry. I'm going to grab this Aquafine Gold paint. And this is that ink. And I am going to put a little bit of this into my cup, which I should have had on hand. And this is a really nice light gold color. And I'm just going to grab a brush and dip it right in here. And I'm going to add some of this actually first as splashes. And I'm going to focus it in a couple of spots here so that we can get kind of a concentration of gold color in a few of these spots. I'm going to do 3 spots on the page. So I've got a space here with a bunch, a spot here, and a spot here. Now I've got some more in my little mixing bowl. I'm going to go over a couple of these tan circles and fill these in with a gold overlay. And then I'm going to add a few more just on their own. You know what? I'm going to make a couple of these a little bit larger to kind of go with these. All right. All right, let's let this dry. All right, I am back and we are all dry, and I just need to show you this wonderful gold. It is just fabulous on this color, and I love the pastel colors and everything from the Kuretake palette. So I'm going to start with some doodles in each of these little circles like I've done before. So this is the jelly roll. I'm using the 05. I actually just got this because I normally in my videos use the number 10, which is a thicker tip. And this 05 has a much finer line, and I tried it and I really enjoy using it. So I'm just going to do some more with this. So I'm going to start, I think, with these lighter circles and put the white on them so that it has some contrast, but not a huge amount of contrast. So I am just going to pick some different doodle shapes and patterns. I might do some flowers or something, but we'll just have to see. So I think for this one, I'm going to do some little loops. Oh, wait. Is this going to be my pen not wanting to work? Uh-oh. Maybe I'll be using the thicker one today. Yep, thicker one it is. So I am just going to go easy around this circle to where it joins up. And I'm going to add some little sort of blobs to it. Just some thick spots around the outside, or actually kind of more in the center, but the lines are going to go thick to thin. And this is just a very easy doodle to make. No big deal. I'm basically just filling in some small ovals around the edge of these lines just to give it some extra interest and keep it simple. And since it's low contrast, you can definitely see the pattern coming out, but it's not overwhelming and it doesn't take over the whole painting, because really I want my paint to shine. I love the colors, I love the gold. I just want to add a little bit more texture and visual interest. So let's move on to this one down here. And I think for this one, I'm just going to do some simple lines. Just like that. And it's just going to be that little bit of texture. Now I'm going to move over here. And I'm trying to keep my hand a bit off center because I don't want to lose the focus. So hopefully this stays in the shot. I'm going to do a flower in this one, I think. So I'm going to fill in the center here, just like that. And I'm going to do some of these petals that I like to do so much. Just simple. And what I'm going to do is in between, I'm going to add some more, just like this. And I'm going to take it all the way to the edge. So I'm just going to keep rotating my paper and adding new petals. And on these ones, I'm going to put in 2. Basically, I'm just covering all the gaps. I really like that. Okay, so now to this other light one. I'm going to surround this center again because it's kind of a nice little dark area there. And I'm going to do some radiating lines. And I'm going to do a short one and a long one. And then I'm going to put some little dots on all of the short ones. And let's go ahead and just do the long ones too. Why not? Right at the edge. So we've got a lot of patterns so far. And I think for this one, I'm going to do some squiggles. Just like that. All right, that pretty much takes care of all of our light ones, maybe except for our gold. I'm going to do some simple spirals in these. I think that looks really good so far. And it's so easy to do and so relaxing. That's the biggest thing really for me, is it's so relaxing. So next I'm going to grab my fine tip. This is 01. This is a fine liner and it is gray. So it's going to also be lower contrast than the black fine liner. I actually just picked up a 3-pack of these at Michael's and I really love them so far. So I'm going to enjoy kind of playing around with different values of my pens and maybe even get some colored ones. Who's to say? Maybe some nice light colors that we can do some colored doodles. That's thinner than the Posca pens that I pull out sometimes. But anyway, let's go to these darker circles. I've got 5, 6 altogether, and let's put some patterns in those. So I think I might copy some of these, maybe on this one on the corner here, just like I have down here. I'm going to add some parallel lines, and this is the very fine tip, and it's not a dark black, which is kind of nice. Like, I love using black and white, but there's something about this gray that it just kind of fades to the back just a little bit, where you still have plenty of contrast, but it just has something special going on. So for this one, this has a ton of the gold droplets. I think I'm going to take this idea, but instead of exactly this, I'm going to make a center here, maybe a decent sized dark center, and I am going to draw lines that lead to each of these dots. All right, let's do this one next. And for this one, why don't we do a center and some scalloped edges. And I'm just going to keep on going around. And for the center here, I'm just going to add some dots, just to give it a little bit of contrast and a definite center. All right, I've got 3 down, 3 to go. I think for this one, I'm going to do some squigglies here. Maybe more spaced out than the one up here. And then for these ones, maybe I'll do some more loops kind of like this, but instead of them going in sort of concentric circles, I'll just have some kind of coming around the side, sort of weaving together. Just like that. And then we've got one more to go. I think for this one I'm going to do some circles. And I'm going to join them together just like this. And so they will be different sizes and they'll all be touching. Maybe I'll have a couple coming in from the edge and then I can kind of fill it in. That way I can make sure to get a good variety of shapes. I love this. This is a great one. I hope you enjoyed doing this with me. Maybe try some of these patterns or try something of your own, but I just love how this turned out. I really like using that gray, and they have some other colors too. I might have to start trying more colors of those fine liners and see what they've got. But I am going to give you the close-up of this so you can see everything. I hope you give this a try or just had fun sitting with me, relaxing and working on something that we could hang out together today. So hope you like this. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching as always, and until next time, keep creating. Bye.